Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the TikTok world. TikTok's, I would say, biggest male star is a young man by the name of Bryce Hall. Mm-hmm. We've talked about him multiple times on this show. And he has decided to launch his very own podcast. Now, that's not a big shocker. I think the shocker is what the content is about.
Yep.
About finance. So Bryce Hall is saying he thought that money was an object. He has learned differently and is in the process of learning differently. This podcast is called Capital University, and it sounds like he's going to be educating his young audience on financial literacy.
I think this is great. On and listen to the first 15 minutes, he said.
Yeah, so he partnered with a guy that on the internet is known as Pomp, P-O-M-P.
Okay.
He's really well known in the crypto space. He has a really big business podcast. I think he has it's a top 10 tech business podcast, Pomp does. And he gets really good guests. Portnoy was on there actually last week.
Got it.
And he gets a big CEOs. Chamat's gone on there. Like he gets legitimate people. So he partnered with him to do this podcast. They released the first kind of teaser, which is 13 minutes. I listened to it on the walk over here. A lot of interesting tidbits in the 13 minutes. I highly recommend everyone. I'll try to give as much as possible, but it's super entertaining. Bryce Hall is very self-aware.
Yeah.
Which was very like kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
He's like, if I'm 21 and all I do is fucking party and I'm making millions of dollars, you can do it too. Like you can figure this out.
Yeah.
Like you can figure out how to make money. And like he's not pretending like he's this like
Talent.
Genius
talent. He called social media people the athletes of the internet, which I thought was a good analogy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
Then he just started dissing the Hype House.
A lot of info
On
on
a
the Hype House.
financial podcast?
Yes.
They're all broke. You want to have terrible financial literacy?
Yes. So
He did?
Thomas Petro from the Hype House,
Yes,
he
yes.
said is the highest earner in the Hype House. And he broke down exactly how much money he makes. $70,000 a month on YouTube AdSense. He said the Hype House guys are whoring themselves out to this energy drink called Bang.
Everyone is.
10K a post.
Yeah.
That's what he said they're getting.
Yeah.
And then he's like, they probably have a few other brand deals. He's like, I would guess Tom Petro, the highest earner there, is making $100,000 a month, max $150,000. And then talked about how he's building a brand. He launched merch, apparently did $1 million the first quarter. And then the last diss on them, he said, well, I'm building wealth and equity. They're going to be on the side of the freeway doing TikTok dances for cash.
He said that?
That's unbelievable.
So the beef
All right,
is
I'm into
real.
this.
The beef is real, I guess.
I love it.
Did it sound real? It sounded authentic? Sounded like
I mean,
real
it sounded
resentment?
like he really despises the Hype House.
I like that.
I don't think you could have made that part
I want the
up.
real thing, you know? Like
Yeah.
when it's leading up to like a boxing match or whatever, I
Yeah.
want real
Yeah,
hatred.
yeah.
And guess who's on the first episode? Mark Cuban.
Wow.
This is good.
Yeah.